This is Rob Thomas with Club and Resort Business. This is another episode of Club and Resort Talks. Today's episode is sponsored by Preferred Club. Preferred Club is a national leader providing insurance and risk management solutions to private and semi-private golf and country clubs, as well as city, social, and athletic clubs. Preferred Club works exclusively through an insurance agent or broker of the club's choice, and their multi-carrier access maximizes the likelihood that they will have the right insurance fit for your club's unique risks. Learn more at preferredclub.com. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's introduce you to Phil Karen, our senior editor. Phil, how's it going?
I'm doing well, Rob. How are you?
Terrific. Just coming off a Thanksgiving weekend.
Yes.
And that doesn't stop the news though, right? What's going on?
Well, let's take a look here. It's interesting. I went back through, Rob, and I was trying to find interesting stories. They all center on Florida today. That wasn't by design. I just went back through and found some interesting stories, and yeah, I picked all happened to be here from the Sunshine State. So here we go. Large scale development, a redevelopment proposal in Lake Wales, Florida. I thought this was a really interesting one. They're talking about creating a hybrid 18-hole layout between Lake Country Club and the Oakwood Golf Course community in Lake Wales, Florida. If approved, the project would add more than 1,400 new homes, townhomes, cottages, and apartments. Also interesting, they're going to put in a 75 room, looking at putting in a 75 room hotel just west of the existing clubhouse. And as I understand it, the proposal as it is now would require removing some of the holes of the Lake Wales Country Club, which was actually developed 100 years ago. And it is a course that was designed by the revered architect Donald Ross. As I understand it, the other course that's involved here, the Oakwood Golf Course, opened in 1993, but closed in 2020. And I guess the idea is, with the inclusion of the nearby hotel, they're hoping to put this layout on the map as possibly as a golfing destination. And the other part of that, I guess, is that Lake Wales Country Club, at least according to the media reports we had, is an underused golf course. So I guess the hope is by combining the courses, which I've rarely heard about, and then having them as part of this development. Part of that, I guess, is the hope to revive both golf courses, if you will. So be
Yeah,
interesting
there's
to see
something
how
odd
this
there. I noticed
plays
that
out.
they had some
Yeah.
kind of a thing with they need annexation from the
Yes.
county to the city since the golf courses lie in both. And
Right.
also there's some kind of a statute that prohibits annexation or development of this if there's some kind of if it creates an enclave of some sort of over a certain amount of acreage. So
Yes.
I'm sure there's a lot of legal balls in the air right now, but yeah, certainly going to be an interesting project if it takes off.
Yeah, it would be. It'd be interesting to see what happens with it. And you were some of those details you were getting into. I was just reading about that a little bit before we came on here, and I thought, wow, yeah, there's a lot of moving parts, as the saying may go, right, with this project. So it'll be interesting to see it. I hate to say it, it almost feels like something that's a little perhaps there's one too many moving parts here. I do hope it works out for them, but it seems like there's a lot for the leaders down there to try to get through with it. But it'll
Yeah.
be interesting to see what happens.
Fingers crossed for those guys.
Absolutely. Um, Also in Florida, Gray Oaks, another story we had this week. Gray Oaks Country Club in Naples, Florida, reopened its Pine Course. It was following a successful renovation project led by Andrew Green. Improvements include enhanced aesthetics with strategic bunker placement, challenging green surrounds, larger green, provide a variety of pin placements. I like what Marty D'Angelo, the senior director of golf down there, said. The course design reflects the latest trends to give a lot more open space around the greens, and that means golfers will have a lot of variety for their approach shots. And I think that's great because I think it's fair to say for most of us golfers, that's what we enjoy is having a chance to try a variety of shots during a round, and I think especially to kind of vary the challenges regarding an approach shot is a good way to go. Also, nice to see. I feel like I read a lot. I've said this to you before. I feel like I read a lot about fewer bunkers on golf courses. Now, they didn't necessarily say they were having more, but I noticed they said strategic bunker placement, and I like that because I think Not that any of us ever want to get into a bunker, but it provides a challenge on a golf course. And when you do well, you, I don't know, feel a little more rewarded for that, I think.
Yeah, well, it certainly is. And around the golf courses I play around here, Northeast Ohio, generally have some thick rough right off the green. So you have like the green, you have the fringe, and then you're into the cabbage. But that just kind of limits what you can do, right? You just hack out of it and get onto the green.
Yes.
The ones that have the mowed down areas allow you to decide between a chip, a pitch, putt. So many different options. So that's fantastic. Gray Oaks is doing a lot of stuff down there. I know they introduced in-range technology on their driving range
Yes.
this past year as well. So, kudos to them. Keep up the good work. I'm sure their members are loving everything that's going on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then actually the third story I wanted to mention today is a follow-up on a story I wrote about a year ago, actually, for the magazine. Uh, Stream Song Resort in Bowling Green, Florida, recently finished the Chain, which is their name for a non-traditional 19-hole short course at the resort. It's actually the fourth course they have there now at the resort. The first time it's a short course, though. Um, this was put together by Bill Core and Ben Crenshaw, the great Ben Crenshaw, who's involved with designing golf courses these days. Travels through a lot of the resort's terrain. They also have another trend that we're seeing with golf courses, with in the golf world. They have a 2-acre putting course that's called the Bucket. Um, so exciting to see that. It's a situation where you don't have to have a full bag of clubs with you. You don't have to have a full allotment of time for a normal 18-hole round of golf, right? Golfers have the option to play different loops of the course, different groupings of holes. And this is, I remember even writing about this last year when I spoke with Kevin Kennedy down there, general manager at Streamsong. I thought this was a great idea. They don't have tee markers, so it provides flexibility as far as where you want to tee off from. You can have fun with a group of friends where, the winner of the previous hole can decide where you're going to tee off from on the next hole. And it's again, course on their property. I've noticed too, Rob, that resorts that have um, multiple golf courses on their property will then have sometimes now started to add the short course as a unique feature. I was thinking about this before we came on. I think to see what would happen if a resort that didn't have a golf course at all decided to have a short course, a 19 hole, a 12 hole, as their primary golf amenity. Or maybe if a racket club that didn't for a full championship level golf course might consider putting in a short course and see what would happen with it. It just thought that came to mind as I was reading about this one. I think it's a great thing they're going to have down there at Streamsong Resort. But I think it would be interesting for places that didn't have golf as an amenity now. Would they consider introducing it this way through a short course?
That's great for a property that doesn't have a ton of land available to
Right.
do something like
So I
this.
was thinking.
As far as the no tee markers, that's fantastic. We played Mountaintop in Branson with a group of, I think there were 8, 9 of us in one group, and they give you a basically a stick with a pin. You throw it down on the ground and say, this is
Yep.
where we're teeing off, and whoever won that hole got to choose whether we're playing a long par 3, a short par 3, where we're at. It was just a unique experience in addition to a very unique terrain. Branson, Missouri. If you've not been, it's certainly something to feast your eyes on. But as far as the 19 holes, that's usually my 19th hole is usually my best hole.
That's right. Me
I guess
too.
I'll have to wait the 20th for my best work. But yeah, looking forward to getting down to Streamsong at some point and
Yes.
experiencing everything they've got to offer.
Yeah, absolutely. That looks like it will be a lot of fun. And you're right. I guess we'll have a new terminology here. I guess we have in that case, playing that 19-hole short course, that they have the 20th hole is
Yeah.
the reward there, right?
Yeah, certainly. Hey, so you were heavy on Florida, and I'm not going to go anywhere differently because our guest that's coming up right after this
Yes.
part of our podcast is also in Florida. I spoke with Joe Conforti, director of golf at the club at Olde Cypress in Naples, Florida. He and I both participated recently in Annie's Revenge Jamaica Pro-Am. He took a group of members down there, and he's done it for this, I guess, his 5th year. But he talks a little bit about the process of, what entails getting the members involved. If it's all his decision, sometimes members want to go someplace and say, "Hey, Joe, can you get us on at a course in South Carolina? That's coming up here pretty soon as well." Another trip he's making. A group of ladies that play 9 holes wanted to go someplace, so he's taking them someplace else. And survive. It provides an opportunity for directors of golf pros to kind of bond with their members away from the club, give them something unique. Right now, they're kind of in shoulder season. Their season really doesn't kick off until after the new year, after the holidays. People are, they'll leave north and go down there in first, second week of January. So right now is kind of a slow period. January, second week of January is really heavy, hot and heavy down there in Naples. So he took this opportunity to go down to Jamaica with some members, and I want to hear what he has to say about it. So stick around. Thank you very much, Phil, for your time, and let's get to it. Thank you all for sticking with us. I'd like to introduce our guest for today's show, Joe Conforti, Director of Golf at the club at Olde Cypress in Naples, Florida. Joe, welcome.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks for having me. We both just got back from Jamaica, so just trying to catch up on some stuff now, but it was a fun trip down there.
Yeah, I'm guessing the weather in Naples is a little closer to what we experienced in Jamaica than it is up here in Cleveland, Ohio.
I felt really bad for all the people having to go back to Cleveland and Michigan, and they asked me where I was going back to, and it feels bad, but hey, somebody's got to live here, right?
Yeah, no kidding. 86 degrees during the day, 76 degrees at night. That was incredible. I was kind of a shock to the system for mid-November, but it was a heck of an experience.
We did get a little rain on Friday or Thursday. We played over a trial. We got that front move through, and it rained literally probably from the first tee shot to the putt on the 18th green. But after that, it was all right. Friday and Saturday were pretty good days.
Yeah, well, here's I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Unfortunately, I missed my connection in Charlotte due to a plane issue. So I missed our round at trial in the rain. So I stayed relatively dry in the comforts of my hotel room once I got into the Iberostar Grand, the Rose Hall?
Rose Hall, beautiful place, beautiful spot.
Yeah, so to catch everybody up, it was Annie's Revenge, Jamaica Pro-Am. It's been going on for quite a while. Now, you've been to, this is not your first rodeo.
This is my 5th time there. 2 years ago, we were the champions.
Ooh.
Just thought I'd throw that in. Yeah, this was my 5th time with Sam. I play with a member at the club, born and raised in Jamaica, a big supporter of Jamaica. He was presented from the hospital. He's got his own wing now at the hospital that he has helped fund and donates a lot of money and time still in his homeland of Jamaica. So it was really cool. It's cool to get back with him and him show me the sights and get some of the culture too. So it's just a great trip all around.
Yeah. Have you been doing this with your members for, the whole 5th year, obviously? How did you?
I started early, Rob. The members really enjoy it. We do a lot of golf trips. In fact, I'm leaving next week. We're taking 12 guys to Charleston, South Carolina, to Bulls Bay in Charleston, South Carolina. So yeah, they really enjoy it. This time of year is actually kind of a shoulder season here. We'll get cranking again probably January 10th, but this time of year I can get away and play, and they obviously they love it, and good people, good fun, and good golf.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a, it's twofold, obviously, right? You get to go out with your members. You're doing you're bonding with your members. They get to know you away
Absolutely.
from the club. What other benefits have you seen by doing not only Annie's Revenge, but these other trips?
Well, not only is it a good time and fun, to spend some time with them off campus, but any golf pro that I think has been in the business a while and does a good job and understands the business, you just, when you're building relationships with members that way, you're just creating fans, and they really appreciate that. It goes a long way with them. And get like you said, getting to know them off campus. It's just, I think, a healthy, relationship all around. They enjoy playing with you. Um, it's just it's just really a positive experience. I try to do it. It's hard for me to get away here January through probably Easter, but this time of year they love it. Last year we have a large 9-hole lady group here at the club, and we took them away last year for their first play away up in Orlando, and they absolutely loved it. So it's just a great way to connect with the members outside of the gates, and it gives back when you're here. They remember it, they love it, they appreciate you doing it, and it's just building relationships when you're in the customer service business that we are.
Yeah. How do these come about? Now, I mean, obviously Jamaica Pro-Am, that's a set date. The Golf Connection and Tom Juronsky do a great job with
Yeah.
that. But like these other trips to like Charleston, or these groups with your ladies 9-hole group,
Yeah.
how do these get together? Who participates? I mean, how do they just sign up and let's go? We got 9 people, we have 8 people, we have 20 people.
Yeah, no, it's a good question, and honestly, they happen different ways. At first, we would put a sign up in, and people would sign up. I mean, we have, as busy as our season is, we've got a long off season too. It's getting shorter as people are moving down here and staying down here, but I would say probably from May 1st, through the end of October almost, it's pretty slow time. They want to get away, so we'll put out a mailer or a flyer, or we'll post it on the internet or the website. Hey, we're going to take a trip for the ladies here or there, and they'll sign up. Now, most recently, I think it works a little better if you've got a group and they know where they want to go. They let you know, and they do the inviting. And then I just make the arrangements, and that kind of works a little bit better. So that's kind of the way the last couple have happened. This group of guys just said, Joe, we'd like to go away and play, and this is where we want to go. Can you? And I lived in Hilton Head for 6 years, so I know the area. I know South Carolina pretty well. So this is a new one for me. I've never been to Bulls Bay, but I great things about it.
Man, really enjoy that one. Now I'd mentioned Tom Juronsky and the Golf Connection.
Yeah.
One of the things, Tom, fantastic. He and the Cobra Puma put together a heck of a tournament, and then the awards ceremony after was terrific. One of the things Tom kept saying is, "What can we do better? What can we do better? You let us know. We want to make this the best Pro-Am out there." What would you suggest, Tom? Or I mean, has he perfected this art? What would you say for Tom? Let's make this a little better by doing X.
Well, it's funny you said that, because I just emailed him probably a couple days ago when we got back. First of all, I'll say Tom does a fantastic job. The organization, the transportation, everything is done perfectly. I couldn't say enough kudos about Tom and his team over there doing the tournament. He's got a tough situation, I think, there. I know Donnie. You've probably met Donnie Dawson, who's the JTB. He just retired. Great guy, trying to help him. He's got a tough job because Jamaica hasn't been known as a golf destination, right? And when you go there, I thoroughly enjoy the golf courses. I mean, Cinnamon Hill is probably one of my favorite layouts anywhere. I love playing there. But the facilities, the golf courses, the facilities, the conditions aren't what you're going to get in most high-end resorts. Things to start to do is build this as a fun event. Experience Jamaica, experience the Iberostar. The format that they have is pretty tough. From my observations over there, the clientele that they get is not your low-level handicaps going over there to try to win a big tournament. It's couples, it's elderly. They want to have a good time, and they want to have fun with it. So maybe shamble, where you're going to play your own ball out, but pace of play is always an issue over there because the golf courses are challenging up and down and all over. being it right off the bat, because you know he has the same problem that every golf professional in the world has. I've had. Anytime you go and you got a tournament like that, and there's handicaps involved, and there's really no checks and balances, you're going to have people saying, "Ah, you know, that's impossible to shoot that. It's impossible to shoot this." I mean, I've never been involved in a tournament that somebody hasn't questioned somebody's handicap, right?
Yeah.
So I suggested to him to flight it right off the bat, and maybe use more of a format of a shamble just to keep things rolling a little bit better, because it tends to get a little lengthy out there. Um, you know, they do such a great job, the JT, with the to get a little comfortable in there, and you know that kind of slows things down too. So the pace of play, I think, would be better with something like a shamble, and maybe just flighting it right off the bat. But outside of that, you know, I was talking to him about, we do a tournament here, Tommy Bahama's Coconut Classic. It raises money for two big charities here in Naples, the Garden the Garden of Hope for NCH, and also the Children's Advocacy Center. What they do is they really pay out the money to each participant. They give out a lot, you know, in the swag bag, and then they pay the top team. But the overall winner of the team is net 7. So that takes out any kind of sandbagging or anything you want, because you can't know how you're going to get to net 7. But you know, they recognize the top teams, but that's the overall prize is net 7. So something maybe along the lines of that, and come back off of the competition aspect as much as they can, because I think that's really, the people are there for the fun more than the competition.
Well, I'll tell you what, Cinnamon Hill, they had my lunch. It took me left, right, and everywhere in between. It was a tough track, especially in the wind.
Yeah.
But I loved it. It was a great experience, and I look forward to getting back soon. Yeah. You had mentioned that you host a couple of events. Do you also host groups of other clubs, other members coming to Olde Cypress, kind of a reciprocal play, or just a fellow pro calls you up and says, "Hey, you know, I got a group of 4, 8 guys that want to come down. Can you?"
Yeah, all the time, constantly, because pretty much from April 1st to the middle of October, we're calling all over the country for our members. Our members are traveling here and there and want to play, you know, "Hey Joe, can you call Plainfield? Can you call Oak Hill? Can you?" They're always traveling. Most of my fellow PGA professionals are great with the reciprocation. So yeah, we do a lot of that, and especially now this time of year when it's getting cold up north, yeah, we'll host quite a few groups this time of year.
Fantastic. Well, Joe, I'll tell you, we got flurries in the air up here right now, and I'm sure right now you have a SPF 30 plus when you're out there on the range.
Just walked off the teaching range just now.
Oh man, well, hey, God bless you. Thank you very much for your time, and
No
I hope to see you maybe down in Jamaica next year, or
absolutely
I'll make a stop. I know I've talked to Melissa Hanson about making a visit down to Olde Cypress for a feature, so I'll make sure I knock on your door.
Anytime, Tom. Love to have you.
Have a great day now. Bye-bye.
All right, buddy. Take care.